exactly what's going to be going down. First ban's out the gate, Caitlyn taken away from the Copenhagen Wolves, and for me, you know, forgiven. He likes Caitlyn, but it leaves Lucian open. What I can only surmise from that is that Gambit want Lucian.
Two things we can take, or like one thing we can take for this. Genja, he doesn't play Caitlyn at all. So now... and then they can take this Lucian as the first... yes, well, wait.
Well there, so we were right about Lucian being banned. We thought it might come from the Wolves' side, but either way, banned out nonetheless. On the other side, Lulu taken away from Alex. Aatrox, it's got to be Kassadin here, the final ban. Yeah,
Kassadin, it will mean that we have obviously Elise open, we also have Lucian for the first pick option, and also LeBlanc is open for Gambit side. Wow. Actually, Kassadin is open. Whoa. Wow.
And that gives them...
whoa, okay.
There we go. Darien fist bumps.
Darien was so
there
happy.
We go. Thank you very much. Kassadin first pick. The Wolves set out there to say, okay, they're going to get Kassadin or they're going to get Lucian. We're going to get whatever's left over. And to be honest, I think Genja will be saying, you know what, I'll just play Varus, no worries.
Yeah, I really think it... good on Kassadin. Here's the thing though, Copenhagen Wolves still love to lane swap. We can see them go 2 mid against this Kassadin, trying to shut him down. Obviously, Gambit will be ready for this because everyone knows how much Copenhagen Wolves love to lane swap. So we will see if they want to try and counter it. Moving Kassadin to a side lane is not the ideal thing because he's very easy to gank early on.
YoungBuckr, he will be looking at Lucian in a second. He's currently got Ghost and Flash. Will we see a Vladimir coming in from? We heard him in the interview yesterday. It was yesterday indeed. It's been a very long Super Week already that he likes to go with that one. We'll see about that though as things go on. We know Lucian locked in though for Forgiven, and also Elise in the jungle for Amazing. What are Gambit going to go with now that they've got that Kassadin locked in?
Well, for them, again, AD carry choice, they're more or less down to something like an Ashe or something like a Varus. And also when it comes to support, everything is of course open. Edward can take whatever he wants. They're gonna need something that can help out Alex though, if he gets in this 1v2 scenario. They need a strong jungler who can go in there, give him some support, maybe make sure he can get at least some farm early on and get his first few items going, and then when you get to team fights, he can start picking up the kills and get all the farm and gold he needs. This also means for Copenhagen Wolves, they want to support carry and the support. She will be able to lock down the jungler, lock down the Kassadin and make them escape around. And also for team fights, she can be this CC heavy machine against.
On the other side for Gambit here, we are going to see Renekton locked in with Annie there as well. Interesting choice when they were hovering over Thresh, which I think the Copenhagen Wolves will likely be thinking about picking up now.
Well, the thing is, Unlimited doesn't really play it. He actually prefers something like Annie, and that's why I think Gambit are taking it away, simply saying, we force you now to play Leona. Leona-Annie matchup is actually all right for Leona. After the level 6 points, she becomes very good at dealing with Annie. She can actually all in her, try and go for the kill, but early on, the Annie Hirash is very hard to deal with.
Well, let's see. And you were right about that one. If I look through games played, one thing that is definitely missing from the Copenhagen Wolves is Thresh. Yep. Not one single game that Unlimited has played on that one, so I'll take back my pointers, and this is why we have you here to guide me through that one. We're going to see Gragas locked in though for cowTard, a champion which he really, which all mid laners have in their repertoire. Gragas is one that you simply have to play, and the Trundle for YoungBuckr.
And Gragas is one of the best champions to send in your 1v2 lane. You can put him down bot, maybe even give him blue buff at level 1, just have him farming with the barrels from a distance. So it really signals 2v1 for Copenhagen Wolves. And they need to be careful, it's not too obvious for Gambit, and they have some counterplay ready for it because they definitely have the combo to do it. Trundle as well, if he gets put into 1v2, just fine, he can farm well, get the CS he needs, he's very tanky, hard to dive with the pillar as well. So I like the setup for Copenhagen Wolves, if they can pull it off.
What are Gambit going to be putting into the jungle from this one? We've seen, as is almost a custom with Diamond, some different champions coming out for him so far. Obviously, Evelyn's been a champion that he's gone for. Against Rocket, he played Vi for the first time. And actually, it looks like we're going to be seeing Wukong for the first time here in the jungle for Gambit, along with Sivir.
So basically, they're saying we have a lot of champions banned against both our jungler and our AD carry. We're just going to fall back on a combo. Sivir, Wukong, you speed up everyone, like when the team fight starts, you speed up with Sivir, Wukong, he goes into the back line, pops his ultimate. Very hard to deal with, and it's very, very strong chasing potential with something like a Kassadin going in with you. Everyone is speeded up. Copenhagen Wolves Gambit.
And the final pick for the Copenhagen Wolves. Excuse me. Copenhagen Wolves picking up Leona as their final pick in this one. Actually, outside I get a bit of a sneak into the Wolves team talk, and I heard them talking about the fact that they don't want to play Lucian against Diamond, and they probably want to go with Leona depending on comp. Actually, that's fallen perfectly into their hands, and Gambit have banned that Lucian away from them and taken the Annie.
And the only issue with Leona here is the fact that locking down a Kassadin, unless he jumps into your face or you manage to land ultimate after he's jumped, is very, very hard for someone like Leona. It does, however, provide some hard CC, and if they catch out Gambit now, something like the Sivir, which also is hard to lock down with Leona due to the spell shield, but if he can manage to catch it out, the rest of Copenhagen Wolves can join in. They're going to be very tanky, both Elise, Trundle going to be tanky, Gragas is hard to take down, so they will have a very beefy lineup, and also some good harass and siege. But overall, the chasing potential of Gambit's set up here, if they can just get like one kill in the start of the team fight, they can just roll over Copenhagen Wolves.
Well, we'll be finding out here shortly. The champions are about to head out to their bases, so let's check in and see how you guys have called this one. According to LOLesports.com, you've picked Gambit as the winner by 81%. A big margin. Gambit have been doing incredibly well. It's not the biggest of surprises to me.
Not really, no. They are the favorites, but Copenhagen Wolves have been looking strong. Yes, they lost the last game, but still, they are a very good team. We have seen how well they played. And obviously, this Kassadin, they had something planned. Otherwise, they wouldn't let it go through. And I've never seen someone being so happy over getting a pick. Like Darien, he was just all over the place when he could first pick this Kassadin.
So, guys, we're actually going to be taking a quick break before we get into game here, and we'll be right back with Gambit versus the Copenhagen Wolves. Welcome back, everybody. It seems like we're getting underway here with the game. Gambit versus the Copenhagen Wolves is coming up here next, and hopefully we're in for a cracker of a game.
And hopefully people can actually hear me now through the microphone. I've been talking a lot in this champ select, and pick-wise, we just have to point out this Kassadin again, and also the lane swap possibly for Copenhagen Wolves. If they actually pull it off, try and shut down this Kassadin, we can actually see a counter pick for it.
Well, really interested to see how it goes, because if you look at how these two teams are playing, you know, the Copenhagen Wolves, they've lost that winning streak now, losing out to Alliance earlier on. Before that, they'd won 5 in a row. Millennium Fnatic, Roccat, Millennium Fnatic again. That's some big teams that they've beaten on that. All right, Millennium bottom of the table. Fnatic were on a losing streak throughout that one. But to be honest, the Copenhagen Wolves have shown some real big signs of being able to get there, and partly, for me at least, in play to their massively safe play. They play things by the book, and they very rarely go off track.
They've definitely found a play style that works for them, also with the players. Rely a lot on Amazing to make the plays early on, and in the lanes, just focus on pushing them up, everything up early game, putting a lot of pressure 1v1 or 2v2, and then Amazing comes down, starts the gank, gets a kill, and you go into this mid-game scenario where you just play very safe, as you said, like risk-free, don't take any chances, only get Dragon or Baron if the enemy team is completely out of position, and it's been working for them, and you just have to respect the fact they found a play style.
So let's talk about Kassadin, because he's got through this time because of that tricky ban phase. You called it that it's not an easy one to really figure out what's going to happen, this ban and pick phase between these two teams. And in the end, Kassadin went through. Darien was like, yeah, we got Kassadin. But I'm going to say it, Kassadin's not a free win by any means.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, he is probably the strongest champion. And the reason is the snowball potential you have on Kassadin. If you get a good start early on, if you get a few kills in a team fight, you become so hard to deal with. You jump in and out in fights, the chasing potential you have, and just the fact you can always come behind the enemy team, do some damage onto a squishy target, jump out again. It's so hard to deal with. And that's why Copenhagen Wolves, they must have something planned. Lane swapping or ganking the Kassadin early on. It's something we need to see from them, because they need to make sure that Alex is not just getting all the farm he needs early on.
So guys, we're getting into game. It's Gambit versus the Copenhagen Wolves. How this one's going to turn out is anyone's guess at this point. All we know is that Alex Itch has got Kassadin, and he's running teleport on it.
And he's running teleport. It's actually very normal, simply because your lane, you don't really go for the kill in your own lane. You won't focus more on the fact that you can port away, you can join another lane, join in for a counter gank or just a gank, get an early kill there, and go and get yourself rolling by that.
And the signs, I think that we're going to be seeing a 2v1 here, very possibly with the coin start there for Leona, meaning that, you know, if it's 2v1 against Kassadin, she's not going to be taking much damage. That shield's not as much use. Exactly,
and it's very risky to start answering coin if they actually go 2v2, because Annie, long range poke, also has a Doran's Ring actually as the first item, so Edward will have a lot of damage early on, so the answering coin will be an issue. Unless they manage to pull this lane swap off, get some of the gold that Ancient Coin provides to him, and just focus on denying CS from Alex.
A bit of guessing work needed, I think, here for Gambit as to where exactly the Copenhagen Wolves are going to be switching around to. We can see that they're all in standard positions for now, but as the clock ticks on, I'm assuming that's going to change.
And here's the smart thing for Gambit. They can more or less just put their bot lane in the mid lane from the start, without even seeing anyone from Copenhagen Wolves, because there is a teleport on Alex. So even if they get in a bad position, he will still be able to at least stay in the lane. He might get poked down, but then he can always recall, teleport back to the lane, and then they can rotate around. So it's very good for them, and Darien actually getting the first ward here.
Don't approve of ward cheering, but that one I can let off, because that's an important one taken away. And Copenhagen Wolves going to try and do the same. Oh, close. Close, but not quite for YoungBuckr. Copenhagen Wolves here, we can see 4 of them actually doing that red buff. Leona's there, which indicates they're waiting to see what the lanes are for Gambit before they decide.
They want to have this dual lane obviously in the mid, and then cowTard, we can actually expect to see him follow Elise around early on, get these jungle camps with him, get some early XP before he goes down to the bot lane, because yeah, Gambit, they are 2v1. And level 1 Gragas, it is still hard to farm, so we can see him follow Elise around here, get some early XP before he actually goes down to the bot lane by himself.
Now, Gragas will be there helping out with Amazing's Elise. After that Lucian that he's become somewhat famous for, actually. Pulled out some great plays, had double MVP awards as well because of that. There's a deep ward actually from Unlimited going down, so they're going to spot Diamond on his path around, and that's going to leave this 2v1 as we were expecting in the middle lane, with Kassadin and Alex Itch trying to farm wherever he possibly can.
And now we need to see if Diamond decides to go into the mid lane to try and help Alex farming, or if he focuses more on going bot lane together with Edward and Genja, and dive onto cowTard, shut him down early, keep him low on CS, and just more or less rely on the fact that Alex can CS on the turret as much as possible.
How do you stop this, though? I mean, Alex Itch now obviously has his work cut out for him to be getting that farm going. Bottom lane, Gragas is definitely going to be having a better chance of that one, and especially as he's got Amazing coming down on towards his bottom lane to help him out.
Copenhagen Wolves are doing a very good job of making sure cowTard can get a good early start. Yes, he's gonna share some XP with Amazing. It's gonna mean he's gonna fall behind compared to Alex, but they're not expecting him to be 1v1 against Alex at any point in the game. They just want him to survive this 1v2 here, get some farm, get some items going.
I'm doing a good job of it so far. If you look down the AD carries, Forgiven, who we call Steady Freddy, but it's more Steady Forgiven. He's been the one that's been farming so consistently throughout every single game pretty much. We heard their loss against Alliance was one of the only times recently we can remember that he was actually out farmed in lane.
And he was simply being shut down. He had Jinx against a very hard lane to deal with in Fresh Caitlyn. And also we had both Frog and Roman down. We had Shook coming down to gank. So simply trying to shut him down, and that worked. Gambit won't be able to do the same here because they're in this 2v1. And we actually see Elise staying around this mid lane, either to counter gank if Diamond comes in, or maybe even go for the kill onto Alex if he gets caught on the turret.
Well, one thing they've done nicely there is force cowTard away, but that lane will start to push itself up there, and cowTard will have a better time of things. Meanwhile, the Copenhagen Wolves going in. There's a flash from Alex Hitch. Level 4 he is, but that Settings Blade would have probably meant death for him, with Amazing hanging around as well.
So very smart play by Alex. He spots Amazing coming down actually behind him here and just instantly flashes to safety. And Copenhagen Wolves, they didn't go for the chase here. They just wanted to push this turret. They often do this with lane swaps, where they take an early turret and then they rotate it around, try and get the bot one or the top one, and therefore get an advantage going into the mid game.
But another question for you then on that front. If they take this turret, surely that's going to make it easier for Alex Hitch to have a bit more free time.
That is true, and that's where Copenhagen Wolves then need to get something else on the map. If you let Kassadin free farm, but you take the dragon, you maybe even take the bot turret, so you have 2 turrets to 0, it is worth it for Copenhagen Wolves. So we might be seeing them do this, especially because they have also Elise, who's very strong at taking dragon early on, and Wukong often needs the level 6 before he can really start fighting.
Speaking of Wukong, Diamond's come to this middle lane to offer a little bit of help. They've gone in towards Alex Hitch. He's dead. He's not getting away from that one, and Limited picks up the first blood. He's going to be chased down here by Diamond. He'll put the stun down. Will Diamond be able to finish off? Too risky for him. He backs off. Great play from the Copenhagen Wolves.
And here we see one of the reasons for them having Leona, because the CC she can chain together with Elise when they catch a target. Alex, he was just locked down. He didn't have his flash, so he just died instantly. Now Ever going in.
Oh, flash in there. Stun comes down. Diamond's there as well. Diamond actually is going to take a lot of damage before he gets away from it, but they pick up the kill. The supports are the ones getting them now.
But a very nice roam from Edward. He went all the way from bot lane up to his mid lane, waited patiently, walked in, flash stunned onto Leona, and obviously picked up the kill.
Interesting start to this game. That's left cowTard a little bit of an easier time down this bottom lane because Edward is not there. It's going to mean that he can do a lot of damage actually even to Genja if Genja starts to move forward onto him and allow him to get that farm rolling in. Credit to Alex though, if we look at it, he's only 5 CS behind.
Yeah, Alex is doing a very good job. He's also slightly ahead in XP. He did use his teleport though, so he won't be able to join in any side lanes, but he doesn't need to. He just want to get this farm in the mid lane. And for him, yeah, he might even prefer to lose his mid turret, so the wave gets pushed even further down to him and he can just farm safely and then rely on the rest of Gambit to stop Copenhagen Wolves if they rotate around.
Praying for the moment that he hits level 6, I'm sure, so that it can be a lot safer in how this game goes down. And there it is, level 6. Kassadin, he's going to get his Rift Walk on. Having a decent time of things now, and I think we just saw there Forgiven and Unlimited saying, okay, that was the time where we could have killed him. That's now gone by. We got 1 kill. Fair enough.
And it's also the time where they need to be careful for the ganks from Diamond. When he get the level 6, combined with the jump in from Kassadin, the silence, the knock up, it's very hard to deal with if you get caught out of position. So Copenhagen Wolves, they need to be careful here. They might even need Elise to actually come in before they dare to go down and take the mid turret.
cowTard continuing to farm. Edward's just warded off at the dragon, so cowTard now going to have a bit of a tougher time of things now that the support is going to come in there as well. There's a stun, but the body slam was already used. Still good damage coming in there. Max range boomerang coming out from Genja. That's going to force cowTard to recall.
And they're showing some of the early bursts you have with this Sivir anti-combo at level 6. Pop down the tables, pop the boomerang from Sivir. There's a lot of straight up burst you can put onto someone, and it really shows how strong the combo actually can be early. One thing we didn't talk about at all, now we see some action towards the blue buff. Can Copenhagen Wolves try to stop it? They did get the ward for it. Diamond might have to smite this one away.
And it looks like he's going to have to there. Smite used by Diamond, hits level 6 with it, and at least secures that blue buff for his team, but not really on the man that they were looking to have it on, which of course was Alex Hitch's Kassadin. Top lane we've not really talked about, but that's because they've been very, very quiet. There is another cocoon, and there is Kassadin jumping away.
We do actually see one thing top, that is the double Dawn's Blade on Trundle. Wicked did it yesterday where he went even actually in farm on Trundle against Renekton. Now YoungBuckr is doing the same, he's doing a very good job, or at least he was beforehand keeping up. He's CSing under the turret now, should pick up some more CS, close the gap into Darien. But the double Dawn's Blade simply means you can actually fight against Renekton early on. You don't have to just back off, let him CS everything he wants, and just rely on CSing under your turret. If he goes in for him, if he tries to dive him, we can actually see YoungBuckr maybe even picking up a kill on Darien.
Now let's have a look down some of the other items. The mid laners, Alexic got that tier already going to be stacking up for him along with Doran's Ring and Doran's Shield. His opposite number, Gragas, who actually has a small CS lead on him there. cowTard, who's been 1v2 in the bottom lane, has that Chalice.
And Copenhagen Wolves definitely haven't gotten exactly what they wanted for this lane swap because Alex has picked up 31 CS already and a tier fairly early on. So that is an issue, the fact he can actually farm. Normally against Kassadin, you want to completely shut him down as much as you can. You want to kill him over and over again. But Diamond joined in there early on to help him out, and also he's been doing a good job with Edward roaming up there, getting the stun, and he could return to lane and pick up some CS on Alex. And now down in the bot lane, ulti on Edward.
Having a go at Edward from this one. Good damage coming. The cocoon has landed. Amazing gonna sink his fangs in, and that is a kill for the Copenhagen Wolves. Amazing comes up with the goods again.
Very nice gank. Good combo here. cowTard, he actually ultimated before Elise was spotted by the ward, so Gambit didn't have time to react. Edward, he flashed away, but the cocoon still got him.
Great start to this one. 13.5 to 12,000 gold is the lead currently that the Copenhagen Wolves have. Bottom turret obviously not really taking any damage simply because it's been Gragas that's pushing that one out, but they may still think about going for a dragon, especially with Elise in there, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
And this again, this is the thing we talked about a few minutes ago, how Elise very strong at taking down the dragons early on here, and they want to try and push their advantage with the fact they don't think Kassadin wants to join for a fight, but just the fact Diamond showed himself, got them to back off. There are only 2 members doing it, so wisely enough, and good move by Diamond also.
Putting down the ward there from the back. The one on the front of the Dragon Pit had just timed out there as well. And let's see now that Kassadin really bringing that farm back, and Alexic is actually going to go wandering from this one. And this is something that you have to stop happening. If Alexic starts to get kills, starts to snowball, you're in so much trouble. You can see that YoungBuckr here did spot him coming up from that ward. He's sticking to the turret, will just throw down his frozen domain and backed away from any danger.
And this is a move we have seen from Gambit so many times, where Darien, he pushes in the lane, Alex, he roams up on an assassin, LeBlanc, Kha'Zix, something, and then he dives them, picks up the kill and returns to mid lane. Meanwhile though, teleport coming in here, we might see a fight for this dragon.
Solar Flare comes out, the fight for the dragon won't really happen. The dragon was taken by the Copenhagen Wolves, and they've done the damage there that they wanted as well. Darien did manage to secure that top turret though, as a little bit of a counter for Gambit.
So Copenhagen Wolves, they punished Gambit for having the roam with Alex going towards top. He tried to teleport him, but it was too late, the dragon was already gone, and Copenhagen Wolves just disengaged. Very smart play, but yeah, top lane wise, YoungBuckr have been able to get some CS at least, but he did lose the turret, so advantage to Darien.
Really interesting starts. This one is cowTard. A little bit out of position there, does have his belly slam of course, so he can go straight over the wall to the help of Amazing, who's come around just to help things out on that front.
And we have to point out the fact that Edward has now gone very focused onto some AP, and now all coming on Genja.
Oh, Spell Shield went a little bit too early. Genja did flash away from the cocoon. cowTard's taken a lot of damage, but it's Amazing at the front there that's doing it all back on towards Genja. And whilst that was a very close trade, no players going down.
Edward managed to deal a lot of damage to cowTard after the engage when he popped the tables, popped his full combo. He's building quite a lot of AP. He has double Dawn's Ring, and also he's having the Frost Fang, which gives him some extra AP early on, and also gold whenever he actually hits enemy champions. So he's very focused on his AP, and Gambit, they're just pushing up this top lane.
And YoungBuckr actually went really low on that top side, had to use his ultimate. They're actually going to go in towards Darien here, which we'll see how effective that's going to be. And it looks like they've managed to force Gambit away from this one. Didn't want to lose too much health on that inner turret in the top lane. They simply back away knowing that they've got that CS lead and a bit of damage onto the tower.
They also keep the pressure going, forcing Unlimited to move up, giving Alex even more time to just farm, only against Forgiven, and that's no problem for him. He's level 8 to level 9, but he is Kassadin, so he can farm, even though there's an AD carry in front of him at the moment. So it's very good for Gambit, and they're doing a good job despite losing the dragon, or at least keeping the pressure everywhere else.
And are roughly 1,300 gold behind in this one. Definitely not a massive amount whatsoever. The Copenhagen Wolves looking to invade. That blue buff obviously was contested last time around. Diamond was forced to smite it to make sure that that Copenhagen Wolves didn't steal that one away. They're not going to be as lucky this time around. It's going to be amazing to smite that one out. That's a nice little steal.
Yeah, very good timing from Copenhagen Wolves. Went in when the blue buff spawned. They knew obviously the bot lane from Gambit is down in the bot lane 2v1 against cowTard, or actually Trundle at the moment, so that's why they could go in, 4 people, and Gambit wouldn't be able to contest it.
And there popping his ulti, he's going to try and have a go on towards cowTard. There are actually 3 men waiting up on that top side, and as soon as Dominus goes down and the minions start coming in, Copenhagen Wolves may fancy their chances. And as I say that, they're actually just backing away ever so slightly from that Tribush. Darien going to be hard to pin down at the best of times.
Yeah, diving a level 10 Renekton is very risky. They might be able to pull this gank off. They have a lot of CC and also the ultimate from Gragas.
Yeah, I was going to say diving only goes so far because Darien's right up the lane at this point. There's a cocoon landing. Where is the solar flare? There it is. Nice. Barrel knocks him back. The CC chained together perfectly from the Copenhagen Wolves. 3-1.
Great combo, great gank. They waited for him to actually walk out in the lane instead of going for the very risky dive, and they managed to pick up the kill with so much CC. And the solar flare combined with the ultimate from cowTard just made it easy for him to shoot Darien back to them and just pick up the kill. Very nice play.
Incredible stuff. We can see some more items now being not finished off but brought in. Alex Hitch has now got his the workings of that Rod of Ages coming in. And on the other side, almost the Athene's Unholy Grail is complete for cowTard, and he's had some good time up there to actually. On the other side, almost the Athene's Unholy Grail is complete for cowTard, and he's had some good time up there to actually probably have enough cash to finish that one off. The top laner's Sunfire Cape along with that pickaxe for Darien. Over the other side, Trundle moving up to that standard Blade of the Ruin King.
Yeah, here's the issue with the double Dawn's Blade is you delay your build later on, so he doesn't have the Blade of the Ruin King yet, or he's not even close to it actually. That can be an issue for him if he gets into a 1v1 fight, but the Dawn's Blade still made sure he could get some farm in the lane, even though he lost his turret. And now meanwhile, Alex, he's just farming away on Kassadin down in the bot lane against Trundle, and he's just happy with that.
Good to have the time. Probably not going to kill Trundle down there, but look to harass him away a little bit maybe. Actually, he's like level behind YoungBuckr right now, considering that YoungBuckr was a lone 1v1 in that top lane. No real big surprises. Speaking of YoungBuckr, he's actually behind Darien's farm at this stage. So not only is that Doran's Blade really hurt him on in terms of his long-term build, it's actually set him back a little bit further as he goes in here on towards YoungBuckr, who's down to less than half HP, but the Subjugate comes in, he flashes away, and the pillar blocks him coming around. Meanwhile, cowTard is going to be absolutely destroyed by Darien up on that top side. Has he got the damage to finish him off? Yes, he does. Pinned underneath the tower. Here comes YoungBuckr teleporting into that top side. Darien's going to try and kill himself. The Culling has got the tag onto him though, and there is a flash actually from Forgiven. I'm not sure that he really needed to do that one. Darien's going to head over around in towards the fountain. Is he going to be able to time this one right? He is going to wait. Oh, a little bit too early.
Just on the edge. Got killed, and Forgiven actually gets the kill. He had to flash for it though, and a lot of members from Copenhagen Wolves had to go up there to try and kill Darien, who kited really well, and he got his revenge onto cowTard. And it is an issue when your solo laner dies to the other solo laner, especially at this point where they're trying to just get all the farm they can onto cowTard, and he actually fell behind now to Alex.
90-70, 84 CS to be precise on that one. Good stuff from Gambit's side. Also, if you look at the junglers, Diamond has got a lot more farm in there than Amazing. 90 to 76 right now. Still slightly behind in gold though because of that dragon from earlier.
He's slightly behind, but he's been doing a good job more or less farming, not focusing too much on ganking, because obviously bot lane we're doing fine, 2v1. Mid lane, Alex, he stuck to his turret, tried to farm as much as he could, and then top lane was already winning, so he could focus a lot on farming, make him very, very strong. He's already having a Giants build, possibly going into a Brutalizer, so he's going to be a very strong Wukong.
Wolves making a play on this bottom outer turret though, and I'm not sure that Gambit can stop this one from happening. Darien's going to come across. They've got the duo headed down, or at least Edward is coming down there with, I think, who is it, Diamond in tow. Yeah, they've done enough there to force the Copenhagen Wolves away, stop that turret going down. Dragon has spawned just in time, but both teams have pretty much the entire team there. Alex is in the top lane, but he has teleport.
Oh, he stole it. Sneaking in stealth. We can't see Copenhagen was going in though.
Yeah, we are going to see them going in as well. Diamond going to get cocooned up. He's going to cyclone away from it, not really utilizing that ultimate as he would have wanted. Alex Hitch going into the middle. Can he pick up any kills? Good solar flare. Alex Hitch being destroyed. There's the barrel coming over. Flash from Genja gets him away from the cocoon. Darien won't have that available, and that's a double kill for cowTard coming down. 2 men down for Gambit. They got the dragon. Fair trade though.
An absolutely fantastic stun though from Unlimited. We have to point it out first of all. He stunned Alex, they could get the kill onto him. And also Darien, he was tanking 4 members in the back. The rest of Gambit had to pretty much return back to their own base. And Darien, he was just left with the team and died. The Dragon though for Gambit's side, with the changes to Dragon, so it's worth less early on, it's actually not worth it. Also because Copenhagen Wolves can push down this turret. So they get a small advantage on this. And very nice team fight for them.
3,000 gold, almost. They now sit in the lead, and a good chunk of gold for everyone to go home and spend the next time that they do, in fact, recall, which is going to help them out in the near future. Alex, had to TP right into the middle of that fight, which meant that he rift walked instantly straight away out of it, which just limits what he can do.
We also have to remember, Gambit don't actually want to fight at this point because Alex, he's only having mana items. He really needs a lot more. We see him going on to cowTard and chasing for the kill.
And he's doing good damage onto this one as well. Can he actually finish off cowTard, whose ultimate is going to come up in a second, which means that he should be able to knock Alex away, or not. Alex gets straight in there. The good old silence, stopping that ultimate being thrown.
And that's where Kassadin is very strong. In the 1v1 on the lane where he can chase them up. In a team fight, with these items he's having, he won't be able to burst anyone down. He needs a lot of time to deal his damage, just like we saw here when he chased up cowTard. It's a very nice play by him. And also a bit risky, Gambit actually took the fight. Oh well, they more or less got engaged on, was forced to teleport in, so they didn't really want to fight at the Dragon. They just wanted to try and back out.
Reset here and both teams go back to more of a farming pattern. That top lane in particular, Darien way on the side of the Copenhagen Wolves at this point, 160 CS. Credit to YoungBuckr though, he's actually brought that deficit back. There was around about 20-25 in favour of Darien before. So YoungBuckr coming back on that front, and he's got plenty of gold with him. Obviously that Blade of the Ruin King will be coming in at some time in the near future. And there it is.
And there it is. Very good item for him. It means he can really start 1v1ing against someone like Darien. Kassadin, still very hard for him to deal with because you just rift walk back and forth, so it's very hard for him to ever get to Alex. So he's going to be focused more on trying to shut down Darien in this split pushing scenario.
We saw there how annoying that Kassadin can be with the silence. Feels like about 4 years when you get silenced by that one, especially when you've been chasing your ultimates just come off cooldown and you think you might be able to escape with it. Nope, not this time around. Alex Ich, though, he's happy to farm up there because he knows he can keep pressuring cowTard. There's a sneak into, or what would be a sneak for Unlimited into the rush to the ward there, though.
Very smart ward by Alex, so he's spotting Unlimited out. I like though what Copenhagen Wolves were trying to do, moving him down. If Alex would jump onto cowTard again, he would be there, lock him down, and then try and get the kill on him. Didn't get anything from it due to a very good ward, and this means though, Unlimited, he's more or less just walking around, falling a little bit behind in XP, because Forgiven, he's been solo in the mid lane for a long time.
As YoungBuckr just coming in, Darien's like, nope, do not want, and we'll just head away from that. Actually, he's going to try and recall, but YoungBuckr will actually spot him from this one, and he's just going to wait here for a couple of seconds and throws the pillar down just to be annoying. Copenhagen Wolves going to get this bottom turret.
It means though Darien, he stopped his recall, he seems to be moving. Oh, he actually backs off, want to return to the top lane. YoungBuckr, with the Blade of the Ruin King, with Trundle, when he gets to a turret, he can really start doing a lot of damage to it, taking them very fast. So Darien, he's actually forced to go up and defend now, instead of going back to shop. And now down the bottom, Soul Flare and Alex.
Oh, going in onto him, that's going to be good lockup, but can they control him even further? Riftwalk's going to come back up in a second when he gets pinned against the wall. A lot of damage, there was a flash, but it's ticking away. Unlimited gets the kill with the Ignite.
And Unlimited, he's been on point with these ultimate. Second time he locks down Alex, second time they kill him. And that's how he shut down a Kassadin.
One thing that we've pointed out about the Copenhagen Wolves, though, they tend to play by the book, or I say tend, they do play by the book. They don't really put any risks in there. They play safe. And that's also kind of meant that they've taken their time and sometimes almost on the edge too much time to finish out games. How does Gambit's composition really run if the Copenhagen Wolves are to keep this lead up?
Well, if we go to the late game scenario, if Gambit can pull out to the late game, it's obviously going to be so much about Kassadin and also Genja with the Sivir in the background. Darien, he's going to fall off, he's going to be this super tank. Same thing goes for Wukong. You don't really have the damage to kill anyone by yourself, unless you obviously just get straight on to the AD carry, but you rarely do that. So they're going to be focused more on tanking up damage, and then we're going to see Alex jumping around, picking up the kills he needs. For Copenhagen Wolves combo, if they can keep this pressure going, if they can keep trying to gank Alex or gank someone else with the Leona, and then also have the Gragas there, picking up the kills, it's going to be very hard for Gambit to actually keep this going, because they are falling behind, or they're still behind, and also Copenhagen Wolves with the next Dragon coming up are in the best position to pick it up.
44 seconds until that next Dragon does come up. Alex Ich has his teleport off cooldown, and As such, he's headed up towards that top lane, going to get himself a big wave of farm, and she'll come down in 30 seconds if needed there to be involved in that dragon fight. And if the previous ones are anything to go by, then he certainly does need to be there. Last time, teleporting right in the middle of the chaos, having to rift walk away from the action. Didn't go as planned for Gambit. They lost a couple of guys. They lost the inner turret in that mid lane. They did manage to steal the dragon away, but it certainly wasn't a clean operation by any means.
Definitely not, and that was actually also due to a very good pillar from YoungBuckr, stopping Diamondbox when he tried to escape, so they got the engage in there. Now we have both both members with teleport up in the top lane. Alex actually will be able to silence the teleport from YoungBuckr, but it seems as though Copenhagen Wolves are in the best position. They're at least starting the dragon. Let's see what Gambit wants to do.
Actually coming in from the left side on his own. We are going to see a teleport coming into the backside behind Gambit from this one. All the damage going on towards cowTard though. Are they going to be able to finish? Yes, he knocks them towards him. That's a kill for Darien. And now they look to keep this one going. It's Genja hammering away onto them. It's Forgiven who's the next target. He will be blown to pieces. And to be honest, Alex can chase any men that get low from this one. And that's surely what he's going to do. They go towards YoungBuckr first of all with all that silence and stun coming down. They pick up 3 kills for the 1, and Dragon wasn't even finished.
And this team fight for Gambit couldn't have been any more perfect. The ward Alex teleported down to was actually the ward cowTard he body slammed to. He got caught up by Darien, he was already low, and when he tried to escape the fight, Alex just teleported right down on his face, jumped with him, killed him. You're gonna see the replay again here. Notice the ward at cowTard where the teleport comes in. Darien flash stuns him, and he's now going really low. There's only one way for him to go, that is up towards his own blue buff, and that is perfect for Kassadin, just jumping after him, picking up the kill for him. And meanwhile, the rest of the fight, with the AP gone now, you rely all your damage onto someone like Forgiven, who's stuck in the middle of everything. Darien comes in from behind here, he has to actually flash the pillar, and then he's just in the face of Edward, Genja, and also Darien. Very hard for him to do anything. Meanwhile, Amazing does get a kill, but from here on the fight is already lost.
Already gone down for him, and then Chase coming in. Actually, the 2 men that were low there may have been a better target for them, but they wanted to get YoungBuckr down. They did so in the end, and Darien puts himself actually up to 3 kills, 3 deaths, and an assist. Got himself a more of Malmortius now.
And the scary thing for Copenhagen Wolves in the last fight, they were actually in a great position to take it. They were ahead, they had a good combo to fight here in the mid game, but simply due to the ward placement that Alex teleported to, and cowTard being stunned by Darien right on this ward, simply made the fight for Gambit and made them win it so easily and also pick up the dragon.
And one thing about Gambit, while we were talking about the Copenhagen Wolves and how they've struggled to close out some games that they've been ahead in, Gambit are a very different beast when it comes to getting ahead. They don't mess around. As Darien actually going to get locked up here, down to half HP. He's going to get attacked by the Baron thanks to that Sunfire Cape, but no worries for Renekton. He just waddles off into his own jungle.
Well, as you talked about, Gambit and comebacks, we've seen it so many times. We know how strong they are when it gets to these team fights. And now they're actually almost even in gold. Due to the last team fight, Alex, he got 2 items completed now, a lot of good farm. Genja, he's just farming away. He's behind Forgiven. He hasn't picked up any kills. But as long as he can provide the ultimate, the rest of Gambit can then run into the face of Copenhagen Wolves. And also we have Wukong picking up a lot of farm, so he's still also going to be very strong in the fights.
Just waiting here. Actually needs to be careful as the cocoon comes flying through. And I think actually spotted Amazing because of that ward down there from earlier on. See the YoungBuckr now getting a bit of magic resist in there. Got that Negatron cloak, which will certainly help him out when it comes to Alex. But still, we saw how much damage that Kassadin can do. And now Diamond's headed up towards his top lane as well.
And we won't see the real burst from Kassadin before he has something like a Death Cap and maybe a Void Staff onto someone like Leona, onto someone like Trundle. So he's going to be more focused on just trying to pick up the targets, the squishy targets in the back, and then get a kill here and then continue chasing with the rest of the team. But he does have a lot of mana, so he can stack up his ultimate now, and therefore he gets some burst from it.
And Darien doing what he does best, being alone, to be honest, on his lanes and pushing them out. Gets himself a turret kill, and actually Gambit's 2nd of the game here, and he is not even scared of cowTard at this point. Got plenty of health in there, and more of Malmortius giving him that magic resist, the shield if he needs it as well to go back from. He doesn't need to worry up against cowTard's Gragas at all.
And Darien is actually the one who picked up both turrets for Gambit. He also took the top one against YoungBuckr 1v1. He's been doing a very good job of switching lanes, pushing them down, getting the turrets for the team. And now we see him actually rolling towards the mid lane, maybe trying to get this one down.
Well, 2 men there from them as well, so I can continue, actually 3 if I could count. They were all stood right on top of each other. Moving in on towards that turret. Amazing, going to put some decent damage down onto Darien, but more than decent is not really what it was. There was a spell shield from Genja, and that took the ultimate from cowTard. No effect had.
Great reaction from Genja, popping the spell shield when he see the ultimate coming down from Gragas. Very nice play by him. He could actually have been knocked into the rest of Copenhagen Wolves, but he completely avoided it.
Great stuff as Alex Ich moved through the jungle, and that's what you'll see from Alex when he plays the likes of LeBlanc and what have you. These champions that literally just sit in the rush waiting for someone to come by and then pouncing on them. And he's only getting stronger at this point. That Archangel staff with his Rod of Ages, as you said, becomes even more dangerous as this game is going to go on. Only got 1 kill to his name so far, but he's got way ahead in CS, and he's got those 3 assists to his name as well. He's definitely feeling like, now, okay, maybe I could have been in a better position, but all things considering, a 1v2 lane at the start is not bad.
No, you can't complain at this point at all. It seems he is actually going towards the Sonyas as the next item, so you can jump into the face of them, pop the Sonyas, you can't even touch him. His ultimate is going to be ready again when he comes out of the Sonyas, jump out. Simply so annoying to deal with, and that's one of the things about Kassadin. And the good thing for Gambit is they have more or less slowed down the game. After the last Dragon fight, Copenhagen Wolves are being a bit more scared of where they can fight or what they can do. And we actually see 2 members also from Gambit going up here to trying to finish third. Smart play, and as long as they can just continue farming, it's going to benefit them.
Wolves trying to rotate up there as well. They had Leona and Lucian starting to head up towards that top side when they saw Diamond moving on through that river area with Ford spotting him out fairly early, but it's just going to be some tower pressures. A half HP currently, that one is Diamond going to go in here. Actually does get cocooned up there. His decoy taking most of the damage, but the rest of the Wolves finally start to join in.
And actually both Forgiven and Unlimited are unspotted because there is a ping on the Baron here, so they know the river, no wards from Gambit's side, they can actually run up here. It seems though Gambit don't want to go for the fight, they just want to try and defend, and we actually see Wukong already backing off. So if Copenhagen Wolves continue this push, they should be able to pick up the turret.
Darien there to defend now. The rest of Gambit have backed away, and well, even Darien leaving that one, saying, okay, that turret's going down. Not much I can really do about that one. I'd rather get rid of this pink ward on the Dragon. Make sure that we can regain a little bit of control of that one. Darien caught a little bit here, possibly. No, the rest of Gambit come up from that mid lane just to make sure that he does stay safe. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Alex Ich has been pushing all along. YoungBuckr was there. He's got a GA now as well, which so gives him that magic with this, but gives him a second chance if things don't go his way.
It's a very early Guardian Angel actually for YoungBuckr. Normally you have like Sunfire, you have something like Spirit Visit early on. He gone straight for the GA, so basically he wants to be in the face of Gambit. He wants to go in there, tank as much damage, and even if he should die, he can come back and join the fight again. I'm not too sure if I'm thinking it's that smart, but he's actually being caught out here by Edward.
There's a lot of damage coming his way as well. Forced to flash over the wall with the presence of Diamond around. Dragon is live at this point. Let's not forget Gambit took it last time. Gambit now have a gold lead in this game, and that's only going to get bigger if they can finish off this Dragon in time. We do have Amazing waiting off to the side. Can he go in there for the steal? There's the Solar Flare, and they do manage to get the Dragon, but what's it going to cost them? Amazing's low. Unlimited is surely going to fall as well. Amazing there at the side, not going to get away from Alex Ich, and they might be able to chase through for even more. cowTard is stunned up. There's a kill for Diamond. That's 3 men down. Dragon was picked up, and I ask the question again, worth it or not?
Not worth it at all at the moment. Gambit are just winning these team fights, they're getting kills on the right targets. Such a nice engage coming in there. You see Diamond spinning on 2 people, knocking them up, getting them low. The rest of Gambit joins in, and whenever someone is low, Alex just jumps after them, finish him. Absolutely perfect for Gambit. And then I'm starting the Nashor.
Baron Nashor kicked off here by Gambit. How they got the damage to finish things off? They've certainly got that annoying hello, we jumped over the wall in your face burst ability from Alex Ich in that one. YoungBuckr, who did go low in that last fight but didn't get his Guardian Angel popped, is there as well to try and stop it. Forgiven off to the side as well. The Baron is at less than half HP. Gambit making waves at this point of things, and this Baron will put them so far ahead, it's ridiculous. That is going to surely go down. Nothing here that the Copenhagen Wolves can do. The culling comes out very, very late on in the day. And actually they're going to dive on towards YoungBuckr. There's the Solar Flare though. Coming around from the other side. They've got him towards the decoy. Darien going to go down. That is a shutdown. A nice bonus being picked up for Forgiven on Lucian. And now YoungBuckr is chasing him once again. Can't chase down that kind of team though with the Sivir ultimate popped. Alex Ich jumping away from things. Copenhagen Wolves got a kill. and it looks like they're going to try and make a positional play on that inhib turret.
Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication for Gambit. Some members went in for the fight, some already decided to back off. So in the end, wisely enough, the 4 members get away. Darien dies for it. But Copenhagen Wolves, 2 members there only forgiven and Trundle to try and stop the Baron. No smite, there was nothing they could do. Had to run into the pit, they would have died together with the Baron. At least, yeah, they get a kill, they get the red buff, so they get something. But Gambit there is looking absolutely perfect at the moment.
You see that quite a lot of farm going on to Edward here. Almost 80 CS that he's got as Annie in that one. That's allowed him to get that Riley's Crystal Scepter already built up in this one. On that last back after Baron, Genja actually bought 2 big items for himself. Infinity Edge and Static Shiv were finished off. He's not got any kills at this point. A little bit behind in CS, but actually if you add Edward CS into that one, they're actually ahead as a duo.
Definitely been ahead, yeah, because Edward taking so much CS away. It's obviously the tactic because you want some items on this Annie so you can provide some more damage. And one thing, we noticed that there's no Last Whisper onto Genja, simply because there's only a Guardian Angel onto Trundle, and there's no real armor on Elise, so he didn't really need it. And now Alex needs to be careful, he's not being caught out.
Well, he's got 3 men that are going to chase him in. There is the Solar Flare. He's actually going to go back towards their base. Zenith lands. Here come the rest of the team as they are going to take down Alex, but it's going to cost them as well. They lose the first and the second, and now the chase on towards Amazing. He's on his slope by the Randuins. Finished off. Double kill for Eddie on Annie, and that is a turret as well.
Copenhagen Wolves, they felt they had to try to do something, so they tried to catch out Alex, but the rest of Gambit were nearby. He jumps backwards towards them. They come in there, join the fight, pop down the tables, and pick up the kills for them.
What is the next target for Gambit? I said this a little bit earlier on that Gambit don't mess around when they've got a lead. They'll take Baron, they'll finish the game as quickly as they possibly can, and that's exactly what they're doing here. They've got minions coming in on towards that inner turret in the middle lane. They are going to be able to pick that one off, as Genja thought he could have a go at Forgiven. Got a little bit of damage onto him, but it's all about the objectives here. 2 inner turrets going down. They've got the Baron. They are now 4,000 gold in the lead.
And we need to see if Gambit didn't want to group up as 5, go towards the turret and maybe try and even dive Copenhagen Wolves, or they want to stick to this split pushing. Alex always in one lane, you have Darien in a different lane, you have Genja in the mid, and then just push up all the lanes. And if something happens somewhere, the rest of the team just quickly moves there, join in for the fight. Like we saw before here with Alex when he was actually called out, the rest of the team would close by, join the fight, pick up the kills.
That's fine for him as well then. With that Zhonya's Hourglass now finished, he'll be saying, okay, I can delay even longer until I go down now. And the rest of the team do decide to come in and help me out.
Alex is more or less a decoy in the start of the fight. He wants to jump in there, he wants to pull some attention from Copenhagen Wolves, and then just wait, just survive. And when someone drops low, then he will pick up the kills. So it's actually the 4 other members of Gambit who's doing all the hard work here, because they're the ones who are going to get people low, they're the ones starting the fights and also have to survive. Alex is just going to be the decoy.
So what's the next target here for Gambit? Actually, Edward is just currently recalling. Alex Hitch going to get himself a blue buff for these next few minutes. And Edward is selling stuff in his inventory. That means that he's probably got a Void Staff, is what he's got.
You know, if your support is picking up a Void Staff, that he's having a lot of farm and also 4 kills. This is the support carry we know from Edward. He's doing so much work this game.
He used to do this when supports weren't supposed to carry as well, so now when he gets into this position, he's certainly at his happiest, I think. 4-1-4, best score on his team, best score in the game even, and he's almost catching up to the jungler in farm over on the Copenhagen Wolves side.
I don't know, Edward. He's always pulling out something special, and I love it when he's doing it. He's really showing how much you can do with this Annie pick, and also why he wanted it instead of the Fresh. Now Alex, flashing away, being knocked further away.
Yeah, cowTard just hitting him off there with the barrel. We see that Edward trying to put down some damage, just testing out that new Void Staff of his, seeing how much damage he can actually do. Yeah, onto YoungBuckr, not too much at this point, but he is the tankiest over on the Copenhagen Wolves team. Diamond, in the meantime, did push out this bottom lane. So the waves, we can see Gambit have gone top, they've gone bottom, they've pushed middle out here, trying to close a ring around the Copenhagen Wolves base.
And they want Copenhagen Wolves to start a fight somewhere. Either, if Copenhagen Wolves moves like 3 or 4 members up, they can obviously take something elsewhere on the map from Gambit's side. But if Copenhagen Wolves have 1 or 2 people going for the fight, then we have the teleport on Alex, we have the fast movement from someone like Sivir popping the ultimate, and the rest of Gambit can join in, pick up the kills. Because they don't have a siege combo. They don't really have the damage or the range to poke out on Copenhagen Wolves or poke the turrets, so they need them to move out of the base and then fight.
Quite happily take a fight anywhere other than, I say anywhere other than underneath the turrets. I'm not sure that they'll be too scared of them by now either. The fact is that Renekton has got plenty of armor in there. Those turrets aren't going to be doing too much to him.
Exactly. With both Wukong and Renekton stacking so much armor, they will be able to tank the turret. They will be able to go in for the fight. The rest of Gambit joins in and they just pick up some early kills. But for now, they're just waiting it out. They might even be waiting for the next Baron before they want to go for this dive. It is a bit risky, so I get the point of them just taking it easy for the moment.
And to be honest, they can do that right now. If they gain that vision control in the Wolves' jungle, they've got a perfect team. Well, a team that you don't want to run into, let's put it this way. If you are the Copenhagen Wolves, Edward might be a small child with a bear, but he's got a Void Staff and a Riley's Crystal Scepter right now. So pretty dangerous is Edward if you walk into the wrong bush. That top inner turret, by the way, not much health on that one. That was already poked down earlier on. Feels like about 10-15 minutes ago by now that they were actually last up there, Gambit. They're going to look for it once again.
And I think we actually have to highlight, we talked about, engage onto Edward.
Oh, going straight in there. Is he going to throw down Tibbers? He actually sees the rest of the team coming in from this one. He still has Tibbers available, and surely he's going to drop it on them. No, he's not actually. They were all up together, and Alexic, though, is going to start to move around the side as he got the damage. cowTard goes low. There is Tibbers. That's going to give them the one kill. We do see the teleport from YoungBuckr coming in, and in the end, that actually will be cancelled out for him. Gambit do pick up that inner turret in the top lane with 20 seconds to spare for Baron.
So Gambit actually gets the fight they want. Copenhagen Wolves engaged onto them. They thought they could pick up a kill onto Edward, so Gambit could then teleport in with Alex, join in, even after they actually disengaged the first place when Copenhagen Wolves were backing off. Then the teleport came in, joined in for the fight from Alex's side, and they managed to pick up a kill. And yeah, now maybe even the blue buff, but the rest of Copenhagen Wolves are here to defend it.
Let's have another Edward update. Needlessly large rod now in there for Annie. 5-1-4, picking up another kill, got 110 CS.
We need a soul
Not much of a support anymore, doing a lot of damage is that. And as we see, Baron is up in play. Gambit took the last one. After winning that last fight, they've got complete vision control over the Copenhagen Wolves, who are going to have to basically throw something at this Baron because the way this is going, they're going to be losing out anyway.
It's definitely an issue for them, but they more or less have to try and hope for Gambit to start this Baron, and you just pile in 5 members onto them, try and win the fight in the Baron Pit, maybe trying to catch out the Kassadin, even though it's going to be very hard, and then obviously they have to deal with the rest of the team, and that's also one of the reasons that Edward is building this way, because he knows the focus is not on him. He can just provide him all the damage meanwhile, and he's actually only 90 AP behind Alex at the moment.
Wow. That is pretty sick stuff. Alex actually picking up Abyssal Scepter into the rest of his build. Zhonya's is now off cooldown, so he's got that extra survivability that he's been going for in those team fights. And actually he's just going to push that bottom lane out. The Copenhagen Wolves looking for a bit of a push. They've managed to catch out Edward, but is he going to be able to survive this one? A lot of damage coming his way. Is finally going to get shut down, but Diamond and Darien are both in there. There's so much damage, and here comes Kassadin from around the side. cowTard's going to fall from this one. There's another one, amazing. Very, very low. Darien does die, but Alex doing all the damage. Well, look at Forgiven going head-to-head with Genja. Alex dives in one more time. YoungBuckr silenced up. Can he chomp down on towards Genja? No! Double kill Alex in. An ace for Gambit.
Such a nice team fight, but Copenhagen Wolves, they did the right thing. They tried to engage when Alex wasn't there, but he managed to get in here, join the fight. Forgiven, he did a lot of damage, but Genja, he managed to stay alive, and then with Alex, they picked up all the kills they needed for Gambit, and they can now push up towards this inhibitor.
And they do a lot of damage. They're going to take that inhibitor turret and the inhibitor itself. AD carry and Kassadin hammering away on them. A lot of damage coming in. Actually, it looks like they're going to leave the inhib for now, because Baron, in all that, is still alive.
And we also have Wukong alive to take the Baron with them. He can tank it away. But look at this team fight here. First of all, they engage because Kassadin is left down in bottom lane. Darien is also in the river. Go on to Edward once again, actually. Pile all the damage onto him. They invest a lot in killing him. Gragas ultimate use as well. Actually misses him. Darien joins in here from the back. Notice Forgiven in the backside here. He's just hammering away. That's good for him. But then Kassadin joins in from the river. Wukong goes back in, tank up some damage. Meanwhile, Genja as well. Good positioning, dealing out the damage. And here we see the Sonya's in work for Alex. Jumps into the face, get a kill, pops the Sonya, survives. And then Forgiven is actually more or less left because YoungBuckr is starting to revive with his GA. And Genja doesn't have the same amount of damage as Forgiven, but then joined in by Kassadin, gets the kill, and also onto YoungBuckr.
And it was so very close. You see, turns around inside of the bush, throws out the boomerang. Alex Hitch just mopping up the last of that one. Baron, in the meantime, did go down, I do believe, for Gambit. Yes, we do see that on Diamond there up at the top, who now also has a Guardian Angel. Genja's got a Guardian Angel. How do you kill Gambit at this point?
You can't. That's more or less the thing. You have to catch someone out, kill them before the fight even starts, and then maybe hope Gambit keeps going in with 4 members and you win it from there. But also, scary point for Copenhagen Wolves. Genja in this last team fight kept himself from the distance, stood behind and just dealt out so much damage to the team throughout the entire fight. He never got close in so they could actually catch him. That's also why they could delay the fight with the 2 tanks until Alex joined in.
Leave that Baron on most of them at least. Darien actually did die, of course, so he's not got that buff for himself at the moment, but the rest of the team do have that one. What are they going to do with it next? I want to point out again a rundown of Edward's build. He's now got a DFG.
Well, why not? More burst. If he can catch onto someone like Forgiven, who's having no defensive items, he will more or less almost be able to kill him.
A whole lot of damage from Diamond, as I said before, with that Guardian Angel on. We'll be feeling a lot more confident of actually diving straight into the middle of that Copenhagen Wolves team. Darien, who's never really scared of diving into any team anyway, is also ridiculously tanky. He's now got himself a Spirit Visage and another Giant's Belt added into all those other defensive items that he went for. There's a barrel over the top from cowTard, but not really going to do all that much. Edward down to about half HP, but he's going to be regenning all that back.
Obviously, the cooldown on Gragas' ultimate isn't too high here, as he had the rank 3, so you just use it for some poke, also maybe to even try and defend his ward a little bit. But look at the damage from Alex now. He's doing having a lot, and Solar Flare actually on Edward once again.
That's really bad news for the Copenhagen Wolves. Gambit know that without all that, they can actually go in. They've put the DFG on towards cowTard. He's not going to go down from it. He's moved up towards the back, but the rest of Gambit closing in on them. There's a kill for Forgiven. YoungBuckr is low. Amazing is low. I'm not sure Forgiven will escape. He gets stunned. Amazing goes low as well at the back flank to the Boomerang. That's only a 2-for-1 at this point, but it's enough to open up the inhib. Are they going to go for the win straight here?
And the strength of the combo from Gambit showing once again. Copenhagen Wolves don't have the damage to deal with both the tanks in the front line and then Genja and Alex coming in from the back line dealing out so much damage. They're just staying here, continue pushing.
Yeah, they're going to go straight in towards YoungBuckr, and he's just blown to pieces. Alex will claim that kill using his Sonias just a little while afterwards as well. But look at Genja. Guardian Angel still intact. They go in towards cowTard. He's going to go down. Can Amazing escape them? I think he possibly can. Maybe even pick up the kill. There's the shield from Zerefs. And actually, they just back away. Inhibitor goes down, and it looks like we'll see a recall from Gambit.
So Gambit can just recall, buy some items, and then return to this top lane with both bot lane and mid already pushing up with the super minions. They actually continue pushing here. Will they try and get a turret?
Well, they're going to do a lot of damage. Actually, they turn on towards Genja, but don't forget that Guardian Angel is still in place. Now Amazing going to fall, and they're picking them off one by one. That's making it a possibility here for Gambit to actually just finish out the game. Unlimited is going to go so incredibly low. Probably going to die as well. No, he won't. The Cullen saved his life. But both Nexus turrets are down. There's the Guardian Angel pop from Diamond. Genja is hammering away on the Nexus. Gambit are going for this one. They are surely going to be able to pick this one up. There's a Cyclone used by Diamond to keep them away. Nexus is low. Nexus is finished. Gambit pick up the win against the Copenhagen Wolves.
And they made full use of this very nice diving combo they were having. Genja had an amazing game with Edward obviously with a lot of kills. And also we had the 2 tanks in the front, both Diamond and Darien, doing all the work they could.